Welcome back to another tropical update here at Liam's Weather, where we continue to talk about nothing but the tropics. We not only have Tropical Storm Idalia forecasted to become the first major landfalling hurricane of the season as we head into your day on Tuesday, but we also have a major hurricane out there right now, and that is Hurricane Franklin. If we zoom in to the latest forecast by the National Hurricane Center, this thing is an absolute monster, a major Category 4 hurricane with 145-mile-per-hour winds, and looking at this beast on satellite imagery just leaves me speechless. A very circular eye, a very strong eye wall circulating that very circular eye, just a beautiful textbook hurricane to say the least. Now, thankfully, while Idalia is forecasted to impact the lower 48, aside from stronger rip currents and rougher surf, this system will be no impact to us at all. Thankfully, it is heading out to sea, and this will bring some very strong winds to the western coast of Bermuda, or the whole entire island that is, but thankfully, as far as the lower 48 goes, this is no threat to our area. On the other hand, that is not the case with Tropical Storm Idalia. Winds are now up to 70 miles per hour as the latest forecast that came in from the National Hurricane Center just after the 2 o'clock hour, and you can definitely tell that this storm is taking advantage of the very warm and deep waters of the Western Caribbean. As you can see, a very big cluster of convection within the last 30 to 40 minutes on satellite imagery. And this thing not only has very warm water right now, but it will head into more very warm waters in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. And that is why this thing is forecasted to become a Category 1 hurricane either sometime later today or possibly even as we head into your morning hours on your day tomorrow. Strengthening to a Category 2 by tomorrow afternoon with winds around 105 miles per hour. And then as the latest update from the National Hurricane Center, they are also now expecting this system to be a major hurricane for your day on Wednesday with 115-mile-per-hour winds. And as much as I hate to say this, considering how the forecast trends have been trending over the last 30, 60, 48 hours, I would not be surprised if this thing is a Category 4 hurricane as we approach landfall on your day on Wednesday. So what this means is that if you live along the western and the northwestern coast of Florida, you need to be taking the situation extremely seriously. You need to evacuate if you haven't already. If you're staying home, you need to batten down the hatches. Make sure that you have everything ready. Make sure that all of your important documents are with you. Make sure your house is ready. Make sure that you have plenty of supplies to last you throughout the rest of the week, because a very devastating and powerful hurricane is on the way. Now, once it makes landfall, it will continue to bring some very strong winds and also some very heavy rainfall to portions of northeastern Florida, like the Jacksonville area, and then traveling into southeastern Georgia, impacting the Savannah area. Then, as we head into your day on Wednesday, this will be impacting the state of South Carolina from Beaufort up through Charleston, Mount Pleasant, Georgetown, Murrells Inlet, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, and then eventually as we head into Wilmington, North Carolina. This will be all heading into your area as we head into your day on Wednesday and your day on Thursday as well. And notice how strong this system is still forecasted to be, a 60 to 65 mile per hour tropical storm as we head into the day on Wednesday and Thursday, which is very surprising to me considering it will be having land interaction. But it just shows you that this system will be taking advantage of the very warm waters off of the Carolina coast. So bottom line, doesn't matter if you're not in Florida, even if you're along the coastline of Georgia, South, and North Carolina, you need to be watching the system very, very closely as well. Let's take a look at our next graphic here, and let's take a look at the future radar as far as the system goes. So here it is at Wednesday morning, right before your noon hour. There's that eye wall coming just now to the west of Jacksonville. Some extremely heavy rainfall and strong winds there in southeastern portions of Georgia. While we're now starting to just get into some of those outer bands as we head into the Charleston area. For your Wednesday afternoon, let's keep advancing this forward, and this will be when the eye is coming into portions of extreme eastern Georgia and very southwestern portions of South Carolina. So from Savannah up through Mount Pleasant, Charleston, South Carolina, this will be your time period to get that rain. And not to mention, for my folks back at home in Myrtle Beach and the PED of South Carolina, some extremely heavy rainfall for you as well, along with some gusty winds as well. Let's keep advancing this towards your 6 o'clock hour. Still some very heavy rainfall. That eye is now heading into South Carolina. As we head into your nighttime hours, I think we will starting to be seeing a little bit of a down action as far as rain goes in South Carolina, as far as the Charleston area goes. But for my folks back home up in the Myrtle Beach area and the Florence area, this will be the worst time period for us as far as the heaviest winds and excuse me, the heaviest rain goes and the strongest winds as well. And then if we advance this even further, as we head into the midnight hour on your day on Thursday, once again, the rainfall should be out of the Charleston area, but we're still dealing with some scattered showers, maybe even some thunderstorms, and we're still dealing with some very strong winds for your day, for your midnight hour on Wednesday. And then eventually, as we advance this even further, everything is out of here as we head into Thursday. And I do think that we will still be seeing some gusty winds for your day on Thursday, but the majority of the activity should definitely come through for your day on Wednesday. As far as the storm surge totals for the Florida Peninsula goes, around 3 to 5, maybe 4 to 7 for the majority of the central and southern half of the western coast of Florida. But as you get into that panhandle and the northwestern coast of Florida, that's where you're getting into those 6 to 9, potentially 7 to 11 feet storm surge totals. And this area is extremely prone and vulnerable to storm surge as those strong winds are pushing all that water in. So this is going to be a very devastating storm to portions of the the northwest and the Big Bend of Florida, to say the least. As far as the timing goes for tropical storm force winds, for those of you who live in central and western portions of Florida, this is probably going to be in your area probably around this time tomorrow. So this system is really going to start moving a little bit moving a little bit faster than it has been as we head into the day tomorrow. For your Wednesday morning, this will be when it starts in northeastern portions of Florida and also southwestern Georgia for you. As far as South Carolina goes, if you live in the Charleston area, most likely as we head into your Wednesday morning, continuing all throughout the day, and then eventually reaching the Myrtle Beach area as we head into your Wednesday night and also into your very early morning hours on Thursday as well. As far as my home area goes, here's your chance of seeing wind gusts upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour. By far the best chance of seeing the strongest winds will be right along the immediate coastline, but our whole entire area does have about a 10 to 40% chance of seeing tropical storm force winds. And while I know that these numbers may not be very, very high, I do think that we will still be capable of seeing wind gusts upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour, which could definitely knock out some power lines and also move some lawn furniture as well. So don't just focus on how high these numbers are. Just know that because there is a tropical storm, we will be seeing those impacts really across our whole entire area. Now, as far as those stronger wind gusts go, it's really going to be focused right along our immediate coastline. Our numbers are practically zero as you head inland away from the immediate coastline. Still holding on to some teen numbers right along the immediate coastline, but just know that really anywhere across our area, we will be capable of seeing wind gusts upwards of 30 to possibly 50 miles per hour as well. And as far as our rain totals go, this will be a very beneficial rainmaker to say the least, especially if you live right along the immediate coastline from Hilton Head through Charleston up through Myrtle Beach. Upwards of 4 to 6 inches of rain is forecasted. So a very beneficial rainmaker to say the least as you head west of the immediate coastline from Augusta, Georgia into Columbia and Florence, South Carolina, in between 1 to 3 inches of rain. So by far those highest rain totals will be right along the immediate coastline. So that is all the graphics I have prepared for you all tonight. Please be sure if you have any other questions to let me know on Facebook or on YouTube. As I said, this is going to be a very dangerous hurricane, especially if you live right along the northwestern coast of Florida. But that is all I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for watching, and please stay safe.